Hi, Audrey. Um, my voice starts out high and it is not low. But anyway, um, I love your title. I just think it's so cool. And I really highly anticipated this and it did not disappoint. I loved, in fact, I went to an aquatics class today. I was talking to some lady about what all you wrote, and she said, I just can't believe that they can shift into liquid. But she said, I did see something on TV about that. I just didn't get it. So anyway, it's the hot new topic. Um, okay, just starting out, and again, I did not stress this to y'all. My students in 1301 last semester, they already know it. So but this is something that I really think your 1301 person should have taught you, but whatever. Don't use first person. And I did give y'all a video tonight. I sent it via email, and I'm gonna make you watch it tomorrow too, to cleanse your paper of all first and second person um pronouns. And if you can't figure out how to write something without it, I can help you. I mean, because typically we all think you could very easily put people think and not even put all in there. People think of robots as blah blah blah. I would avoid, in fact, I wouldn't use the word all because that's dogmatic. It's just like never and always. Those are very dogmatic terms. You don't want to use it, shows bias, is what I'm saying. Okay, so let's go over here. And what I was showing you is back to the operator. Um, you could put the above depends on the page where you obtained the information. So what I'm saying is you go operator, either, yeah, I'm sorry, I forgot to put the quotation mark here. End it with that. Remember, oh, come on. There you go. Remember, you don't put a period until the end. So there's no period after operator. And you have a quotation mark, and then you have a space, then that, and the period goes after the page number. So just remember that. I loved your transition here where you're going from one spot to the other. Let's see. Having programmable, okay. I went ahead and started it like this. I turned your sentence around some, and I said use specifically for roles dealing with what is called the 3Ds, because I want to put more of your words in there. Tasks that are dull, dirty, or dangerous. The most recent case of shapeshifters in the military, by the way, these are all your words except for the 3Ds, but that's okay. You could leave it like that. In fact, you don't really need to put the quotation marks there, but that's fine. In the military is okay. Most recent case of shapeshifters in the military, I should say, involves. Let me take the S out. See, everybody needs to go back and reread what she or he wrote, right? Okay. All right. The most recent case of the shapeshifters in the military involves, because case is actually the subject, involves the use of 3D printed programmable robots, period. In the U.S. Army, if you're saying Army, you can just say lowercase a, but if you put U.S. in front of it, it's a proper noun. In the U.S. Army, 3D printed, now I'm bringing in the quote, smart active particles, see, because that needed to be quoted, or smarticles, which I love, had to be quoted, have been developed to morph in, okay, you know what? Because this is a quote within a quote, we're going to put one quotation thing there. Forgotten what that's called. It's just one, it's not two, because that's within a quote. Have been developed to morph their bodies into specific positions to mock certain movements like flying, swimming, and other functionalities. Okay, then I put a space and shape shifting because it doesn't have a page number, and it goes by the title if there is no author. These can only do one thing. Now, this is your own words. These can only do one thing, flap their arms, their two arms, period. However, when 5 of these smarticles are contained in a circle, they begin to nudge one another, forming a robo-physical system known as a super smarticle that can move by itself. Adding a light or sound sensor allows the super smarticles to move in response to the stimulus, and even to be controlled well enough to navigate a maze. Yeah, I wasn't sure where that it actually begins. And why did I say that? Here, do not use a maze. Yeah, I knew there was something about that. Yeah, I couldn't figure out where that actually started. So can you do that? Can you find that? Make sure it's punctuated properly. And then when we had the exercises we had on Monday, the quotations, where it said use more of your own words, otherwise in my words, it's a data dump, but you're letting somebody else talk for you. So I redid this because this is a pretty long quote for a short paper. At least one physician, Dr. Marshall Deans, or Deans, whatever, sees that coming. Okay, and that I kept it in the context. An interventional radiologist at Advocate Health Care, Dr. Deans, fears that, quote, computers would soon make doctors redundant. I think that had to be put in there that way. I like those words, end quote, and went on to explain that instead of spending time on diagnosing, they should spend, or you might even put physicians would spend the majority of their time entering data and assessing patients. Okay, but see, this is the thing. Yeah, that's it. And then you would put whoever. Where did you get oh, that's from his. And I'm trying to think, does he have a page number? Now, you're probably saying, how do you know all this about him? I found it on Google. So find the credentials, enter credentials in. Those are real good ways to beef up your support for your arguments in your paper. So in that, I'm not, let's see, yeah, there, because you've already mentioned his name, that's fine. You can end it like that. No need to put his name in parentheses. Then this one right here, isn't it sort of, I took that part out. Do not use questions. Yeah, don't use them in the body. You can use them in the title. You can use them in the first or second sentence of your introduction, but that's it. So I took this out because you said enough to do. You know, I'd take do out and I would use a more active and descriptive verb. That's just good writing, to use more descriptive verbs than being verbs. Okay, and then this one is huge. So we need to put that in mostly your words, because that is a data dump. If you're going to put all that in there, then you're letting this person write for you. So go back. You're just going to have to reword it in your own words, but compare what I put to what Fideli put, and you're going to see I didn't use all the same words. I mixed it up. Okay, and then you quote it like that. Now, the other thing is works cited has to be on its own page. So here I would go in and I would insert a break, a page break. Okay, then it doesn't matter. You know, you'll save it and that break will never go away. I'm not quite sure what's going on with all of this, but it's not really formatted correctly. And I did say that the above article contained a citation on the right-hand side of the page. Oh, yeah. If you would have gone this one right here, it actually had when you were in the article, it said cite and had quotation marks, and it would let you cite it. And you can drop down to MLA and get that. This one I actually did see, so I'm not quite sure. Let me look at that. I did see that one. So let's put it up in the search bar. Huh. Maybe you didn't have the quotation mark. That might have been what it did. I'm not sure. Shame. I did see it, I thought, up here. You know, it might have been in the sentence. If it was actually mentioned in the sentence, then that would have been okay. Okay, but this is the way, let me make this just a little smaller. Okay, that's what it looks like. This is what it should look like. Let me make that bigger. Whoop. This is the end of the page. These are 1-inch margins, 1 inch up here, 1 inch on this side, 1 inch down here. And how you do that is you go up here. First of all, you'd have to move that up. Okay, that's good. For some reason, these are not aligned on the left margin line. Okay, I think you might actually have it centered. I'm not really sure. Okay, we're going to use this other one. Okay. And it may not have that because you mentioned it in the body. All right, so what I would do is I would highlight all of this. Okay, don't do the title. Right click it. Well, actually, what I would do is I would go Times New Roman because I did write something in blue font. Okay, I would change, make sure all of this is in black font. And I would make sure nothing is in bold. Okay, now I would go to right click. I would go to paragraph. I would go to, okay, you've got that don't add a line. Good for you. Okay, go to hanging. And let's see what it does. Okay, so it did not. Okay, do you see where the gray and the white meet? That's your 1 inch margin, and that's where you're going to have to move that. Okay, so see the little, there it is right there. You can barely see that little arrow thing. Okay, so this one actually is in correct format. So, okay, so let's go here. All right, then we're going to go right click, we're going to go paragraph, and we're going to go hanging, and okay, let me do one more thing. Paragraph. It looks like it may not have been formatted before. I'm going to go to 0, hanging, and say okay. All right. Okay. So now let's look at what yours looks like. See? So that's the way it's supposed to look. I just copied and pasted that, or I took a screenshot. So just read through all of these things. If you have any questions, hopefully we'll have time to talk about it in class tomorrow, because everybody who turned in their rough drafts and they have any questions, they get priority over people who did not. So anyway, I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.